Boker Tov, Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Tensions both areas, Syria with United States coalition forces and Iran facing off today and have been here for the last several days there. Going to get into that in just a moment. Also, North Korea. Again, they have developed more accurate missiles than have been expected. We're going to go into that in just a few minutes. Look also at Qatar, issues that are happening there, and other things as well. Let's get right into this. This is the U.S. General's or spokesman Dillon, who spoke the other day that we shared some of the information there about the situation near Tanf, Syria, at southern Syria, where the U.S. coalition forces have set up a deconfliction zone, according to them. Now, of course, as we already know, Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, states that this is an illegitimate deconfliction zone, that it was Russia, Iran, and Syria that made an agreement with the UN Security Council on deconflict zones inside of Syria, and that they were to be negotiated out, and they have not been done as of yet. But the U.S., no doubt, as we have clearly been watching, has come inside of Syria with what it seems to be the intent to draw Iran and possibly the Syrian forces into a direct conflict so that the issue of taking down Iran can be once and for all taken care of. Also, removing Bashar al-Assad from power. So that's what it seems to be from the outlook on what we're watching here. Listen to Mr. Dillon here and what he has to say about the situation that just occurred yesterday near Tanf and the incursion between Iranian pro-Syrian forces and that of the U.S. coalition.
This morning, the United States conducted strikes against two technical vehicles, pickup trucks with weapons that were assessed to be posing a threat to coalition and partner forces based at...
Having a little bit of a difficulty with the making that actually come out, but he does speak about that in here and what they were actually trying to do there. Moving also on other news here, this is another video footage here that came out today. Alexander Karula Naya actually posted this video here. And this is showing that the Iranian forces, how they are already moving up into position seemingly to actually take on the U.S. forces there in the region. We are seeing all kinds of movement. They're bringing tanks in also by trucks as well, moving in military personnel. It doesn't seem to be a large amount of military from the Iranian Guard to begin with at this point here, but I can only imagine what could end up coming in the coming days here as the tensions are rising between the pro-Syrian forces and that of the U.S. coalition inside of Syria. And it just, to me, it doesn't seem that Iran is any match for the U.S. coalition. And so, but if they really get into it heavily, Iran could at that point begin launching missiles towards the U.S. coalition from the mainland of Iran, which I think is exactly what the coalition is hoping for, to be able to justify removing Iran from power, but at the same time targeting Israeli civilians. That could be the catastrophe in this all. So it's definitely not a smart move from what we can see. Besides what is going on there in Syria, we also have the U.S., another video has just came out, U.S. dropping phosphorus in Raqqa, and monstrosity amount of phosphorus falling down on the local city there in Raqqa. Very concerning there, because phosphorus is just absolutely devastating to any humans that are on the ground. And although we realize that ISIS is certainly a major problem in the Middle East there and must be dealt with, at the same time they always take civilians captive. They take women hostages and use them as sex slaves. And when this phosphorus is being dropped down like this, rather than doing actual combat on the streets there, you're killing, no doubt, many, many civilians along the way. We have no confirmation of this, though, that this is actually happening, but it's just very sad to see that phosphorus is being used on populated areas rather than actually directly combating and trying to remove these people. Also going into Yonhap News, article here coming out this year about North Korea. Their missiles that they launched the other day says that North Korea launches cruise missiles, launches cruise missile threat, it seems to have improved precision. And that's something that is worrying, no doubt, for the NATO allies, because not only are their cruise missiles getting new precision, but they also have the huge arsenal there of the nuclear warheads as well. In this article here, the North Korean nuclear issue must be resolved creatively. The diplomatic security line is still undecided, excuse me. And that's on donghae.com. The article states here the key words of the message that President Moon Jae-in presided over at the National Security Council on August 8th are maximum friendship and creative plan. It is the intent to clean up the conflict with the United States over the deployment of the THAAD advanced missile defense system and look for a new approach to North Korea. And a month after his inauguration, Moon showed an emotional gesture towards North Korea and sought a policy shift towards North Korea, but North Korea was in a state of frustration as it refused to visit North Korea and responded with missiles. Oh gosh, that, like I said, friends, it's just so tense all over the world. Also, very interesting things that are happening as well. Again, Qatar now on the bad boy list with the coalition there, not the coalition, the U.S. coalition, but have fallen out with the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Yemenite government, many of the other of the Arab League have come against Qatar, claiming that they are arming terrorists inside of the Middle East. Well, as RT reporter once stated, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. Saudis and the Qataris are both guilty of arming and funding terrorists inside the Middle East. Why Qatar is being targeted? Don't really know. Interesting to say, though, the Turkish military is also moving troops to Qatar based on the latest situation with the Saudis, and also Russia, Qatar, to discuss regional bilateral issues during their Tanf Moscow visit. One thing I've noticed that every country that falls out of good graces, whether it be with NATO or the Arab League, United Arab League there, always ends up becoming an ally and friend of Russia. What is going on? I mean, I know they're trying to bring about a new world order, and there's claims that Russia is against the new world order. But then again, some of the relationships that President Putin has clearly as new world order advocates. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, this Saturday on Direct TV, Channel 367, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, of course, 7 p.m. on the Pacific time. You can catch Israeli News Live, the prophetic insights, and I guarantee you, you do not want to miss this broadcast. Some of the broadcasts will probably not air on Israeli News Live YouTube because of the deep biblical impact. They'll probably air instead on Danoon Institute, so you might want to check out over there. Make sure you subscribe. We'll put a link to that channel there inside the description box, but don't forget to watch that. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live.